The saying goes, there's a first time for everything. And for Russell Wilson, today's his first game ever at US Bank Stadium. Will the Vikings give him a rude introduction? Find out next on EA Sports.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Taking it about the one. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. And that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded right at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. They go play action now. Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Nice throw. Big man catches the football for a 1st down, and that big man, That's DK Metcalf, the 9th receiver taken in the 2019 draft class. I think if we redid it, he might very well be the first one off the board. 83 catches for 1,300 yards last year.
Wilson will throw again. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. James Lynch coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down a pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line.
To try again after the sack. Wilson, he lets it fly for Lockett. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Personal foul.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would do
even
for
know
them?
why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. That time, a 6-play drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Minnesota offense ready to go to work here. Their quarterback in his 10th season overall now, and 4th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Off the play fake, Cousins. Smith catches left side.
And Viking fans always remember that Kyle Rudolph held down the tight end position for the better part of a decade. But Irv Smith was drafted in the 2nd round in 2019 as his eventual replacement. And that time...
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And that was Carlos Dunlap who got in to take him down.
Before making a move to Seattle, Carlos Dunlap was the Bengals' all-time sack leader. Ended up having 5 with the Seahawks in 8 games in 2020 as well.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Cousins gives way to Cook. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. From the gun, here's Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Osborne. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Out comes Chris Carson in the Seattle offense. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We're watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complementary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well.
Mike Zimmer staring down our referee. He's upset. He's going to throw out the red challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Let's go, boys.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 18 carries, 122 yardage-wise, and a score as well.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. A pass underneath for Carson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Carson. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. This is Carson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
Sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
Well, the Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. A give. This is Cook. Jordan Brooks on the tackle. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
A 40-yard punt, no return. An update from Denver. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He gives it off to Carson. Shoves him aside. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it 2nd and 7. They run it with Carson. And just not a big enough hole to break this one. He gets it to the 35 after showcasing that tough running of his. Still about 3 yards shy of the first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Here's Jordan Berry now, standing just outside his own goal line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The number 1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You got to get it done with your offensive unit.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top of the game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Handoff comes to Cook. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
And that's why Dalvin Cook is the Minnesota Vikings featured back. You put the ball in his hands, good things happen. Second in the NFL last year in rushing with 1,557 yards, and that's now back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with 30 combined total touchdowns. What a player is Dalvin Cook.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And Viking fans spent plenty of time wondering how they were going to replace Stephon Diggs when he left for Buffalo. But I think most would agree now that Justin Jefferson was the best rookie receiver in football last year. 88 catches for an even 1,400 yards. I would say the numbers don't lie.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now a run with Cook. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On the carry, it's Cook. And he'll take this one down to the 36. The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Complete. It's Johnson. Sharp there with his feet. Gets him a little extra space. And then drop just inside the 20. 7 yards the pick up there. Back to the ground. Cook. Now Cook hit and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Now it's Carson. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. They'll run the screen with Carson. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down. Catch is made by Metcalf. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
Partner, he got the DB on his horse on that play. He certainly sold like it was going to be a deep route before breaking it back on the comeback towards the sideline.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson. That's taken in by Eskridge, complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
You never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Going for it all. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points. And he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there. On 3rd down, it's Carson. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On first down, Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing again on 2nd down, Wilson. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
I'm really not sure what was more impressive about that throw. Was it the distance traveled or the accuracy involved? Because I'm going to tell you straight up, when you're trying to hit a guy in stride that far downfield, there's nothing easy about it, but he sure made it look easy there.
Point after, right down the middle, and we are tied here in the second quarter. 14 now as he sends this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And the clock reads 30 seconds to go, so really not a whole lot of time to speak of. 30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Metcalf once again the target. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And that's off the mark. Incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. This time they stay on the ground. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now it's Peterson. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. 1st down, here's Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the 2nd quarter. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half, and they were able to have some success throwing the football against this secondary. Look for that to continue as they try to break this deadlock. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they too found some success throwing the football, but I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the 2nd half.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this 2nd half. Kenny Nwagu now out of his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
56 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Brings up 3rd down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu. I'll tell you that much for free. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Returnable for Lockett. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and out will come the offense as they take over. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. To throw is Wilson. Out left, he's got it to Everett. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Carson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, that play really didn't fool them. They completed the screen pass, but for lost yardage, a really nice play by the defense.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Wilson. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. They go back to Carson here on 2nd. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. 3 yards remain for 2nd down. On the delay, here's Carson. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play. Myers' kick is good. And they take a 17-14 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Let's go. Let's go.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Throwing is Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. On the ground, it's Cook. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's third down and inches. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a fifth, barring a conversion here on third down. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. And he will have a Vikings first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on third and inches.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Carlos Dunlap able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. And that's his second sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the third quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Cousins to throw it. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jordan Brooks drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now it's Lockett. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They were losers a week ago to Tennessee, but they're on top right now as they come up here 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf.
That's it, baby.
Complete to DK Metcalf. It's a game brings up 2nd and 2 at the 34-yard line.
Second and 2. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 80 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
First down, Seattle.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. There's Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Following the interception, Cousins. Throw caught there by Osborne. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Cousins. He'll dump this off to Cook. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
A 53-yard attempt.
And this is good. He was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Now we will get another look at Seattle's offense, and we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 18. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Cook. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Cousins now. And he's got it. Touchdown. Adam Thielen. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Joseph on for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Vikings boom it away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught. Dwayne Eskridge. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. He's going to air one out. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. Another big play here as they strike for 31.
I would say just add that one to the total big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Wilson. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They run again with Carson. Stopped short. Down at the 1. Had the broken tackle, but couldn't get it all the way home. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They run for it with Carson, and he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps. And
he's going to go down in the end zone. Cousins taken down for the safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Pulled in at the 24. A dangerous return man showing it here.
Let's go!
The Seahawks take back over, and they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Now Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the
To throw again on second down. Wilson, he'll find Ballore out of the backfield. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up third down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Now it's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. 54 yards. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. It'll be Carson. They run for it. And they bring him down after just a short pickup. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Keneduagu now out of his end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So Kirk Cousins in the offense. Down by 1. 1:46 to go. Needing at least 40 yards, you'd have to think, to have a shot. Cousins to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Here's Cousins. Connecting with Johnson. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Cousins. He's going to let it fly. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, an even 90 yards. And the Vikings have once again taken the lead. So minutes after giving up the lead in the 4th quarter, they say not so fast. Big play, and they grab that lead right back.
Talk about a seesaw game. Up, down, up, down. Did you have a seesaw? Did you play that when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. Out on the playground, absolutely.
You had to make sure that you matched weight, though, on the other side, though, right? Otherwise, you could be up in the air a long time.
By the way, we're not done in this one. I think we're set up for an exciting finish. Cousins will try and throw. He's got it at the 2. And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. Now the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that, because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And they will take a knee here. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And they take a knee.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the 4th quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against the top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for the Vikings, the preparation